Let that coffee brew, let that L burn. Meditating on my past and the lessons learned. Wanna live life, wanna find me. Wanna read the impressions of society. Let that coffee brew, let that L burn. Meditating on the past and the lessons learned. Just wanna live life, just wanna be me. Just wanna break these chains and become free. Peace, and welcome to another episode of Talks with Mert, where we discuss mental health, emotions, spirituality, and the everyday trials of being a human being. Talks inspired by my own personal experiences and conversations I used to have with my mama. I am your host, Mert's son, and this is the platform where we discuss all the things that go unspoken, that ain't talked about enough. Mental health, depression, anxiety, confusion, the thoughts that we have with ourselves on a daily basis. This is the place for that, for us to sit down and have those conversations. But please follow the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at Talks with Mert. If you listen to us at Spotify or Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Let us know if you felt it. Let us know if you gotten anything, or if anything helped you, or you learned anything new. I've been missing for a minute, so my apologies to the people who are running those 25 episodes up that I have, because I just went back and looked at the stats, and people are still listening, and I appreciate y'all. So that means that the gems and the food that I'm bringing from my life, they benefiting somebody, and I'm grateful for that. This year has been a freaking roller coaster for me. A lot of good things, a lot of great things. The biggest thing is me and my family was blessed with a home. We finally got us a home. That's always been big for us to get, and it's been big for me because I lost my home, my mom's crib at one point. That's in previous episodes to speaking on that, but so to have a home, something for my kids to come to every day, that's a blessing. And my grandmother had left an inheritance. My mom wasn't here to accept that inheritance, so me and my sister accepted, and that was a cornerstone. That gives me more motivation on what I want to do for my families, being able to use part of that inheritance to, get my family a home. That shit is a total blessing. I'm forever grateful. That was the biggest blessing of the year for me. The second thing that was big this year was my album Divine Intervention. If y'all was able to check out any of my music, I have an album out called Divine Intervention, and it's talking about how I use psychedelics to heal. After I overcame depression, I had to, find my confidence again, figure out how to do this human shit, be me again, be comfortable with myself. But that album, I brought it to stage play. And, I had two of my friends acting as me and my sitter on the trips that I took throughout the presentation that I did, the show that we put on. They were acting, and of course I was performing my hip hop in between, and I had a friend create this beautiful visual to go in the backgrounds behind us, while we were doing our thing, and it was a beautiful thing, man. But it was a big festival, the Boom Festival. Shout out Charlotte Boom Festival, where artists come and do their thing. But I was able to have that platform to put on that production, and it was the highest selling production there. That was a blessing. It was a blessing to see how many people really appreciate my art. The biggest blessing, I think, was all the feedback I got back from it after each show. It was a 3-day presentation. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I was able to give the show. And after each show, people would come up to me, telling me how they appreciated it. And it made them want to go home and work on their lives. And, it was a blessing. And I started therapy this year. And therapy was part of me finding my light. And I feel like this show helped me find my light that weekend. I seen it, and that was a blessing. Um, but the topic, what I'm here for, is stop running from that healing. Um, Cause this healing aspect and a lot of stuff that happened this year, um, it left me in a position where I had to heal, but I wasn't really trying to because um, that shit hurt. Also, not just because it hurt, but because um, you don't like facing those truths. You don't like seeing them parts of yourselves, your hurt self, or I got this image of myself, because I've been through depression and I overcame that shit, and my peace of mind is more valuable to me than a lot of things, in this life. Like my peace of mind. So to feel like, you know, to feel like that peace has been interrupted, or to feel like that peace has been, invaded, you know, I don't like them feelings, and I wasn't trying to face them feelings. My grandma did bless me with a house this year, but it was a lot of family drama behind it. And I hated this shit. I had some family members, it hurt me, and that was earlier this year, but like February when it happened. But like this year, I've been battling with emotions from it, and the reason the battle was so hard was because I wasn't really doing the healing. Not only was I wasn't doing the healing, or I didn't want to face those feelings, I had a lot of shit going on in my life. Getting the house was a blessing. That show was a blessing. The things that's going on in my personal life with myself, personal growth that I'm making, my other goals and things that I'm doing, my businesses being successful, and so much shit going on, and so many plans and ideas that I wanted to execute. All these things were going on, and it just kept feeling like it was being, disrupted. And it was being disrupted because these feelings and this hurt and this pain that I was going through and was experiencing, I wasn't allowing no time, for that to take place. And when you ain't allowing time for your healing to take place, that shit is going to keep popping up in your life, and it's going to keep disrupting you from things that you actually are trying to do. And I healed from depression before, but when I had to go through healing before, it was more from like, I didn't plan it. I think I was in depression I was fighting like hell the whole time. But I think if I would have been intentional about the healing process, things would have went a lot smoother, and things could have, not took as long as it did. Not saying that time is a factor, because healing is, you can't put time on that shit. But, 4 or 5 years dealing with darkness and dealing with your pain, that's a long fucking time. And, now when these feelings and this pain and all this shit started coming up, I didn't want to go back to that dark place. I ain't want to be sitting, for hours and, thinking about my day, or, just 4 and 5 years, wallowing around in that hurt, just trying to figure shit out. I just didn't want to go back to that dark place. I remember how weak I was. I remember that. I remember how weak I felt. Embarrassment, and not embarrassment, because I did something on the external. Is embarrassment because I ain't never felt these. Why do I feel this? Why do I feel so broken? I ain't want to have them feelings again. So when I was going through, some of the repeat thoughts and these feelings that I was having this year, it was like, damn, like, again, nah, like, I can't do that again. I got shit going on in my life right now. I got music going on. I got my photography going on. I got these babies running around here, and I can't be the grumpy dad, the grumpy husband. And, that just ain't me. That ain't in my nature. I'm a peaceful guy. I want to be peace. I want everything around me to be peaceful. And I know it ain't gonna always be that, You can't control what's going on the outside of you, but you can control what's going on the inside of you. And I worked like hell to, quiet all the voices and the storms inside myself, and I didn't want to feel those again. So I was like, I had to find something to do. But I got some tips and some things that I've been practicing and things that I've been doing this year, and some notes that I've been coming away with, taking time. I just wanted to share them with y'all. Stop running from that healing, because that healing is going to disrupt your relationships that you got going on with your partners or your families or your wife or your kids. If you ain't dealing with that healing, this anger and this frustration and this sadness, this shit is going to pop up, at the least expected times, or at the times where you don't want it to be popping up, when you really got shit going on and you trying to be productive, and now you sad out of nowhere, and you angry out of nowhere, and you mad out of nowhere, and you can't figure out where this shit coming from. It's coming from, the shit that you tried to sweep up under the rug. When that happened, that pain and that hurt and them feelings, you tried to put it away, and you can't put it away, man. You got to really make time for it, or it's going to keep coming up when you don't want it to come up. And that was my biggest lesson this year, because it happened before, I was supposed to do my big show at the festival. It happened way before that. So I'm up here trying to plan and, rehearse and put all this shit together while I got this shit going on inside of me. And it's like it kept stopping. Like I got to keep starting over. I couldn't get in a good groove. I did that before when I was going through depression before. I tried to put this shit on the back burner, get out here in activism and do all these things to keep me from thinking about and feeling that hurt and feeling that pain. I was trying to do everything I could to keep from feeling it, to keep from facing those thoughts. And when it did, I blew up. It pressure burst pipes. Like I was sitting there, I let it build up, and then I exploded. And that's when I really entered the dark place. So I was like, how can I keep myself from going in this dark place this time? Part of the thing was I need to start being intentional about when I was thinking about and trying to process the feelings. I would be taking time to myself, to really do that. Like, take time to put that shit on your calendar, like you would if it was an event or an occasion or somebody inviting you out somewhere, or I need to do this on Thursday or Friday, or I need to do this. Like, put it on your calendar and make time for it. And it sounds bizarre, but it really, really helps, because when you making time to go and deal with these feelings and these thoughts, then they ain't coming up in different parts of your lives where you ain't really want them to. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for an example, I had a family member post some crazy shit online, and I don't go looking for it. Somebody had sent it, which was cool, because they were looking out. They were just like, I don't know. I know that person ain't no messy person. That's why I ain't feel no kind of way when it was sent to me. But when I received it, I tried to like brush it off, like forget about it. Like, it ain't that big of a deal. I'm in this place now, this high place, this peaceful place. Can't nothing disrupt me. And this shit really did bother me. You know what I'm saying? And it hurt, because the person that it's coming from, is supposed to be like my brother. So it did bother me. But at that moment, I tried to brush it off. The whole day went by, a day and a half went by. And the next day, I was supposed to be working out with my wife. And we got in an argument over the smallest things. And we ended up not working out. Well, she did, but I didn't. I ain't work out with her. The feeling just came out of nowhere. And I was like, damn, like, where this come from? Excuse me, y'all. But I was like, where did this come from? So I sat here and I thought about it, and I was like, damn, you really are mad. Like, you really are upset. And it's still stemming from the same shit that happened earlier this year, when I ain't really took time to really sit down and figure out why I was so angry or how to deal with those feelings. But me not addressing it when it happened, or me trying to put it on the back burner saying that I'm good, I'm okay, caused this shit to come out in a simple conversation with me and my wife. You know, I ain't the type to get erratic or get loud or get angry, but I had attitude. And it was attitude that didn't need to be or that didn't have to be, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't take time for that shit. But like now I'll take an hour out the day, or I intentionally take a car ride to go run an errand just so I can have time to try to process those feelings and process those thoughts. I actually make time for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want this shit coming up when I don't want it to come up, you know? So I actually sat down and think about it. And another tip I wanted to throw in there while we talking about intentionally making time to heal. When you do it, you ain't gonna always want to feel like doing it when it's that time. You know, you might schedule an appointment, and when it's time for that appointment, you don't feel like being bothered with that shit. You don't feel like doing it. You don't feel like going through it. And get in the mood for it. During this time of this anger and this hurt and being pissed off and this sadness and stuff, I wrote songs, or I know people who've made songs already, you know, based off the same shit that I was dealing with. So I would listen to that music to relate, to cry, to feel whatever it is that I needed to feel at that time. You know what I'm saying? If I had an emotion and I didn't understand where it came from, here go another tip. I would be asking why. You know, that's what I used before when I was going through healing and I was going through depression. You know, why? Why did I feel this? Okay, then why do I feel that? Why did that make you so angry? And when you keep doing that, you get to the root of why you angry. And when you understand something, you ain't mad about it no more. When you understand something, it ain't confusing you no more to the point where it's disrupting your life. When you understand it, you can deal with it and you can move on. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that process is for. That's what that time is for. Another thing that was pointed out to me in therapy, you know, I had to stop overthinking things because I wasn't making time for stuff. When I think about something, it'll piss me off. And I keep going down the rabbit hole of it. Keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it. And now I'm pissed off for a few days. You know, it's okay to be in a down place, but you can't stay there. And that's why it's important that you make intentions on making time to heal, you know. So I got tired of going down the rabbit hole. I got tired of spending days in a funky mood, days of trying to figure out these feelings and understand these feelings. I got tired of that shit. So I started making time to have these feelings, so I ain't taking it out on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And it'll come out with my kids and stuff too. It might not necessarily come out talking to them any kind of way, but you know, it might be a good day where I really don't have nothing going on, and you know, they might want to play, but I don't really feel like playing. You know, and I might have been a couple of days I ain't played with them because I really have been busy. But this day, if I would have took some time to deal with this healing on this day, I could have played with them. You know, I might have frustrations with them in the mornings. I might not be as patient when I'm getting them ready for school because I done thought about some shit that'll mess my morning up already. But when you start taking time to heal and you start making time to heal, being intentional about that, then, you know, you can control your day-to-day more. You can declare that you're going to have a good day more. You can not be in these dark places more. You cannot go down those rabbit holes. You cannot, you know, take frustrations out on people who don't really deserve it. Or, you know, that's how you really get to the bottom of shit, is really by taking time, man. And when I say this year has been a roller coaster, that's what I meant, because it's been a blessed year. But these feelings and these thoughts and these emotions and dealing with, you know, shit that you really ain't got no control of. That was me trying to control things, and you got to let things flow, man. But I'm not going to hold y'all long. This is a short episode. I really just wanted y'all, let me make sure I ain't forgetting no notes with y'all over here. But you really got to make time to heal. Oh, the biggest thing before we end, after you take that time to yourself to heal, when you take that time to yourself to think about what you're going through and feel what you need to feel and think about what you need to think about, take about 5 to 10 minutes more if you need. but take about 5 to 10 minutes to decompress. So you're not taking those feelings, everything that you just went through, back into, the rest of your world, to the rest of your family, or the rest of the things you got going on. Because I'm out here doing, I feel, it's God's work. One of my biggest testimonies, ain't my biggest testimony this year, but the things that shocked me was, with my music, I hadn't really been doing a lot of music, new music this year. I hadn't really been promoting music like that. And I had over like 20,000 something streams this year. And that's a blessing. And I realize it's a blessing because the stuff that I'm putting out is really helping people. I'm really talking about my trauma and dealing with my trauma, figuring my trauma out, so the next people or the next generation will know how to do it as well. So this work that I'm doing, this podcast, my music, my photography, all that shit is like, it's God's work. And I don't really take credit for it. My wife is like, it's amazing, how you be doing the concepts. And I'm like, yeah, I appreciate it, boom. But, I can't really take no credit for it. Like when I had made my post to thank people who had been listening to me, I said, the music. Thank you for, listening to the music. It ain't really mine, because sometimes I can't tell you how this shit came to be. It really just came through me. And that's what we here for, is to experience and tell about those experiences so we can help other people. But stop running from that healing, y'all. Take time to deal with your trauma. Take time to heal. Make it intentional to heal, so you're not bleeding out on everything and everybody around you. So you're not bleeding out on the things that you're really passionate about, on the things that you really want to bless other people with. Take that time to heal. And thank y'all for tuning in to the podcast, as always. Much love to y'all. I hope y'all have a really blessed week. Much love to you. And if you really want to see change, any change that you want to see in this life, it begins with self. Believe in yourself. Be patient with yourself, and watch self blossom. Much love till next time. Peace.